Hey guys, so in this video we're going to talk about computer impaired people. What's that? Yeah, let's get into it. So for me, a computer impaired person is a person that is from a different age, the sort of person who has absolutely no experience working with computers. And when I say no experience, I don't mean like your mom who can send an email here and there and you have to watch them use like click and drag on the sidebar scroll in order to like go down on the like without using the mouse wheel or anything like that. I'm talking at the point where it is actually it's almost scary how little they have. And the reason why I'm making this video is partly because I want to share a story with you where I can that hopefully will be it was amusing to me, but I also want to stress any parents watching this how important it is to let your kids use computers. You just do, like, you have to. I would say that it used to be the case that kids needed, and they still do, you need to have a healthy like a hybrid between your kids going to like football or basketball or like doing sports and learning IT today, because trust me, they will not survive at a higher level. Like if you want them to all be carpenters or something that doesn't require any type of IT, virtually no IT knowledge, absolutely don't worry about it. But if you want them to be like, you know, to progress to the point where they can get as far as they can, they need to know computers. So when I was at the university, I was running my own tech support company virtually. It's a small side business basically, and I had one of my most my most trusted or reoccurring customers was this guy Martin. And Martin is, to give you a context, he's in his 50s. He's been a carpenter his entire life. He's an absolutely lovely guy. He's a few clowns short of a full circus, but he's an absolute peach. Like, he's amazing. And whenever he has his own tech guy usually, but sometimes that guy is out sick or on vacation, so he comes to me. And I can still, like, every time he calls me, I absolutely, like, my favorite time was he called me and he was all up in arms. He was saying, "Fredrik, something horrible has happened. I have a virus or something." And I say, "Okay, well, like, slow down. What's the problem?" "Oh, yeah, you don't understand, Fredrik. It's like there's police has hijacked my computer, and they're saying that I'm responsible for distributing child pornography and having sex with animals and all kinds of stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, slow, like, Martin, just chill out." And he's like, no, you don't understand. They're telling me that if I don't go to 7-Eleven and pay them 5,000 crowns in fines, they're going to come to my house and arrest me. And I'm like, "Oh, just relax, come over, I'll look at it," and I kind of finally managed to calm him down, and he comes to me and he gives me the computer. I look at it and I open it, and it's one of those classic like overt viruses. Basically what it is it just hijacks the screen and takes a direct feed from his laptop's web camera and shows him his own face, and then it has a bit of images of like the Swedish police administration and stuff like that. And it all, like, what he meant by saying that, hey, they're trying to like force me to go and pay my fines at 7-Eleven, was basically just fake ad, like click for ads. So the virus creator has, like, this is it's a really dirty virus. Like, it's aimed towards just broad distribution. It's not about fooling people into anything. The bulk majority of people will know that this is not a real threat, but he didn't. So I kind of sat him down and said, "Okay, Martin, let's walk through this, just you and me. All right, let's just walk through it." So starting off, why in the world will the Swedish police ask you to go and pay your legal fees or fines at 7-Eleven? He's like, "I don't know." No, exactly. But just think about it. Why would they ask you that? Like, be critical here. Why would they ask you to? I know that the logo is the policeman's, like the police's logo, but why would they want you to pay that fine there? And the second thing is, do you realize that, technically it's not illegal here in Sweden to have sex with animals if you wanted to? And he kind of like, "Okay, could you fix it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll fix it." And he's like, "All right, cool, I'll just sit here and wait." And I said, "No, you can go home. Like, it will take a few hours to like reinstall the hard. Like, I mean, I was basically just gonna do a complete wipe of the drive, right? And he's like, no, I'll just sit here. And then he, goes and has some coffee, basically. And so I start scrubbing the computer, basically, with Malwarebytes. And that was basically it. And he's like asking me stuff like, oh, so are you reprogramming the computer for me now? And I kind of, there's no way for me to talk to him, so I just say, yeah, sure, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm reprogramming the operating system so it won't do this anymore. And finally, I managed to solve the whole thing. And he said, it's really good to have you here to help me, help me out, because I don't know these things. And I said, yeah, no, I kind of figure that much, but it's okay. I grew up in a different time. We grew up in a different time. I understand that, for you this doesn't come all that natural, and for the most part, I suppose that you don't need this all that much. But I wanted to tell you, like, make sure that your kids know this stuff, like, because trust me, it's gonna get so much easier for them in school and stuff if they know, how to use computers and so forth. It's fairly important. And he's like, yeah, I understand that, absolutely. And then I said, okay, the one thing I can't solve for you is that you need to set up your IP. Like, he had an internal router, basically, that really old. Like, the laptop is basically a brick from like 2001 or something like that. And I told him, you have to call your ISP company and basically just talk to them. And I gave him all the information he needed. And he said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. He goes home. A few hours later, he calls me up and is really upset, and he says, like, yeah, these idiots at Telia, which is his service company, they don't understand anything. Like, I was talking to them, they couldn't help me, and I said, okay, cool, like, just tell me, what did the girl say? Well, she's told me that like the internal router was broken, and I had to like sign up for another broadband, and she said that there was nothing they could do, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I know for a fact that it works. The problem is I don't have the number. I can't go call them to myself, and he needs to do it. But I know for a fact that it works, and that's when it kind of hit me. And I just stood there with my phone in my hand, and I smiled because I realized what happened was that he is so technically handicapped that the girl on the other side, because I asked him, like, how long did you speak for? About an hour and a half. And that's why I realized that he is so incapable of understanding computers that the girl on the support line can't help him. And she most likely realized that she couldn't help him and simply sent him on his way to get rid of him, because there was no way she could help him. To give you a context, he called me up because he couldn't figure out how to turn off his computer, because the guy who usually does his tech support for him had put a little icon, like a link icon, on the desktop that shut off the computer, because he did not have what the skills required to figure out to use the start menu in a Windows XP machine, basically, and click the shut off button. So this is like me saying, this is like the most extreme case of IT, how do I put it, like, of not understanding how IT works. He even once called me up and said that, oh, Frederick, something's wrong with my internet, it's all broken. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, I know I'm a douchebag. And I just kind of took a deep breath and said, yeah, Martin, I see that the internet is down here for me too. What did you do? And he's like, I don't know, I did something and now the internet doesn't work anymore. Yeah, we probably need to fix this pretty quickly. There's a lot of people who depend on this internet thing, you know that, right? Yeah, shit, we'll have to fix it. I'll come over. I'm like, no, you don't have to come over. Just, relax. Sorry, I know, I couldn't help myself. So this is me basically telling all your parents out there, make sure that your kids know about computers, because trust me, it is really, really important. I would argue that it's on par, if not even more important than sports.